This is going to be the second playable vehicle in armored front. Let me show you what I have done so far. This is my favorite. You can flip the windshield up and down. Soft top can be pulled up or down at some point in the future, I'm not sure when. You have the wipers. Apart from being able to move it, this is all it does. It's just for show at the moment. But eventually, once we have the weather system and the rain and mud and all that stuff, you'll be able to use this to clean out your windshield. Next, we have the shifter. This is the same shifter that you're used to from my other video. It's a 5-speed transmission on this Jeep. I did make a little mistake, which I will correct later. The reverse on the Jeep should be here. So it would be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and reverse. So that's wrong. I will work on that later. So all the vehicles in armored front have an electrical system. This electrical system powers everything on the vehicle. So on this Jeep, you have the master switch, turns on power to everything. And you got the starter, starts the engine, and of course you have the engine cutoff switch. Headlights, you got your parking lights, and you have a gauge here. What that does is it shows you the electrical load on the system. Meaning if you have a bunch of things turned on, you know what, why don't I just show you. So let me turn the master on, turn the headlights on. As you see, the electrical load went up. And more I turn on, more it's going to go up. That means I'm going to be draining the battery a lot more. And next you have the battery gauge. It shows you how much battery you have left. You want this in the green. Do not let the battery run out. Especially in the tanks. Don't let the batteries run out because you're not going to be able to start it. Well, that's not entirely true. Yes, you can in the tanks. You can start without a battery. It's going to be a much more tedious process than just simply pressing the start button. We'll get to that in a different video. There's another way to start the engine on a Jeep or any wheeled vehicle. You could push start, just like in a real car. If let's say you parked it on a slope or something like that, you could simply let it roll down and then you shift it into third or the second gear and you could start it up that way. But again, it's not convenient. What you want to do is use the starter. And as I'm talking, I'm draining the battery here. So let's not wait around. Let me start this engine. I'm going to turn everything off, just the master. This Jeep is so easy to start. You simply have just turn the master on and then press the starter button. Acceleration or the throttle is controlled by the right trigger of your controller, and the brakes are controlled by the left trigger on the left controller. Steering wheel, 2 turns to the right, 2 turns to the left. That's about it. And the steering wheel does straighten up by itself. It's not doing that right now because we're not moving. The rate of return, rate of recentering depends on how fast you're moving, how fast the vehicle is moving. Alright, let's take it for a spin. I have to say it's a lot of fun to drive this thing, and I am finding myself driving this way more than I should. It's actually pretty easy to drive. Of course, there's a lot of work to be done on this. This is not the final by any means. Alright, so there's still a lot of things to be done on this Jeep. This is not the final version, and it's going to be improved over time. For example, these switches that you see, these are not realistic, and neither is this gauge. These are placeholders for now, but eventually they will be replaced. I think the VR has given us an opportunity to experience those things as close to the realistic counterpart as possible. So that's what I'm trying to do here. I'm trying to give you the best experience you can get without actually playing with the real thing. Mind you, it's going to cost you a lot of money to drive one of these things, or actually own one. Trust me, I know, because I've looked into it. Also, one last note. This environment you see is a low poly environment, and this is just a test scene, so don't get too excited. The real game is going to be a realistic world. Everything's going to be realistic. There's not going to be any low poly stuff. Alright, have a good one.